Hey traders, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to talk about Coinbase, ticker symbol coin. Now, I don't normally talk about large caps in my videos. I don't really play them that often. However, the earnings for quarter two that they just posted this past week were absolutely ridiculous. And as a result, it kind of piqued my interest. I did a little bit more digging, and I believe that this stock is very, very undervalued at current levels. So I'm going to quickly kind of go over what I found from, just very, very brief research, why I believe it's undervalued, where I think fair value is. And then, as always, I'm going to hop into the charts going over key levels and key indicators so we know how to best play this stock moving forward. So without any further ado, leave a thumbs up on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and let's get started. Okay, so like I mentioned, absolutely ridiculous earnings for Coinbase. And I think it can kind of be summed up very, very well in these two tweets. So the first tweet right here from Charlie Bilello, as you guys can see, quarter two revenue growth year over year, just kind of pointing out some of the major blue chip stocks. We see that Coinbase has had a 1,042% increase year over year. That is absolutely ridiculous. That's something that should pique your interest. Moderna had that plus 6,400%. That makes sense, obviously, with the COVID vaccine. This is very, very different. Okay. I mean, to some extent, yes, Bitcoin has very much blown up over the last year or so, and same with the alternative coins. However, that being said, that is still a major number, especially when you look at other big players in the large cap market like Tesla up 98% or Google only up 62%. So that is something that stood out to me right away. And then when you go into the actual earnings report, you can see that they well exceeded all their Wall Street expectations. Massive EPS beat 642 is what they reported versus only 226 expected. That's about 300% on the beat. And then also revenue about $400 million higher than what was expected. That is absolutely monstrous. That shows that Coinbase is definitely headed in the right direction. And with crypto continuing to remain hot and probably not going away anytime soon, this is something that should be of interest, especially when you realize that with $2.23 billion in revenue for the quarter, that kind of translates roughly to earnings for the total year to be around $9 billion. And the market cap for this stock is only at $55 billion right now. And compared to other growth tech companies, especially in the crypto name, this is very, very undervalued. Normally, the revenue to market cap translation is about 10 times. Okay. So the market cap is normally 10 times higher compared to where the revenue is. And right now it is not there. We would need to see a market cap of about $90 billion to make sense of those ridiculous earnings that Coinbase just posted. And ultimately, as a result of that, it's just very, very interesting to see how much opportunity there is to the upside. In order to kind of get to that market cap level of $90 billion, which is about 10 times higher than the annual revenue, you would need to see an increase in the stock price from $262 current levels to about $400 to $450. That's a lot of upside there. And so that is something I'm definitely watching for, and definitely something I'm interested in kind of realizing throughout the next few months. But on top of that, one other piece of news that I also just found interesting, we saw Intel come out and report that they have a new stake in Coinbase valued at more than $750,000. Ultimately, that's just really nothing. But nevertheless, I thought it was interesting. Wanted to share that. It is cool to see, other massive companies kind of, get involved and invest in companies that they think are up and coming. So I thought that was pretty interesting. Wanted to share it. But now let's hop into these charts. Okay. Taking a look at the daily price action on the chart, we did see a pretty big run up into earnings. And then when earnings popped, we saw the stock pop off as well, reaching highs of $294 on Wednesday. However, after that, we did fade a little bit. And with crypto going down, on Thursday and Friday, we saw that as a result, the price of this stock went down. However, I believe that the drop off was a little bit unwarranted, given that, people seem to forget that they just had an absolutely insane beat on earnings. So I think that, this was all due to just Bitcoin dropping off a little bit on Thursday. And I think that as a result, it gives you a very, very good opportunity to get in for cheap because right now this stock is trading under fair value. But that all being said, now let's hop into the indicators. So the first indicators we're going to take a look at is our moving averages. We have 3 to go over here. The 9-day EMA currently sits at $259. The 21-day EMA currently sits at $250. And then we also have the 50-day moving average currently sitting at $238.49. With the moves that Coinbase has made off of earnings, we are seeing that they currently sit above all 3 of these levels, meaning that this stock is currently giving off bullish signals both in the short term, but also in the intermediate to long term. That's very exciting. Final indicator we're going to take a look at here is the RSI. We see that, even though Coinbase did kind of make those massive moves to the upside, they did have that drop off. And as a result, we're kind of still sitting in pretty neutral levels. There is a lot more room for the stock to go. As you guys know, when it does become overextended, like we saw on Wednesday, it does get a little bit tricky to play. Stocks need to take time to consolidate when they go up. However, there was this big drop off. We're back to neutral. And as a result, the opportunity definitely still presents itself right now at these levels for the stock to make a pretty nice move in the coming weeks. Final thing to take a look at with the charts is going to be our key levels. So first on the support side, we are going to have a pretty big support zone right here at $259. It served as pretty good support and resistance throughout the week. After that, we have $255. That was another key level that was tested throughout the week where we saw on Thursday after we saw that big drop down. We did go to test that 255 level, got a nice bounce off of it. Buyers were definitely interested in buying at those levels. As a result, we were able to get a pretty nice bounce on Friday. Final support level is going to be right at 250. Nice round psychological whole number to kind of base a position off of if you're interested in entering. Like I always say, when it comes to support levels, you should always try to buy or add to your position near support levels because by doing so, you ultimately end up minimizing your risk and maximizing your upside. But speaking of upside, now let's hop into our resistance levels. So first one's going to be right here at this $266 marker. As you guys can see, very, very clean resistance zone that we were trying to break above on Friday. Unfortunately, we're not able to do that. However, we'll see what Monday brings. If we do get above that, I do expect a retest of this zone right here from 272 to 275. This is a pretty big zone historically for the stock. Above that, we have room to 281. And then I think if we do get above 294.20, and we get a clean break with some volume at that level, we are going to start heading up pretty quick. That was obviously Wednesday's highs right around there. But if we do get a break above that, then I expect the stock to head back to that $300 level pretty soon. And from there, who knows how far it can go. But let me know what you think happens next for this stock. I'm always interested to hear your guys' feedback. If you have any questions for me, let me know. I'm happy to answer them. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to the channel. And aside from that, have a great rest of your weekend.